Hey coaches, welcome back. This is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. How are you guys doing today? Today we're going to talk about how to play free safety in the 6-2 multi-8 youth football defense. This is the defense that I've developed over the last 10 years. And this is actually, I think, the last position how-to video in the series, kind of overview until maybe I do some more specific videos on how to play the position. But so let's jump into how to play free safety, or Fred, as I like to call him, in the 6-2 multi-8 defense. So Fred, in most cases, especially I would say after 8 years and older, and you've got passing teams versus just pure running teams, Fred plays pass, pass, pass pretty much in all cases, unless you've tagged him to blitz, or you may be trying to run that 6-2, 6-3 hybrid where Fred is kind of the monster back or maybe a middle linebacker. But pretty much, definitely at older ages, Fred, the free safety, is playing pass, and he's pretty much always in a cover one or man coverage on somebody. He's the main pass defender. He's also the free safety who saves touchdowns and long runs. I expect him to be very smart and patient and to make those saving tackles. So he's got to be a pretty good open field tackler. Quarterbacks actually make good free safeties or running backs because they, have good hands to make interceptions. They understand pass routes, and they understand what the quarterback is usually doing. You can hide some weaker players at Fred every now and then, especially with run teams, but I would not suggest that for very long. I know Fred is not one of my top tacklers on the team, but I know one coach that I've coached with in the past that he likes Fred to be maybe his one or two best tackler defensive players on the team, and that way you can always save touchdowns with your free safety. Like I said, Fred can play in a middle linebacker position, like in the 6-3 hybrid defense, or when we go into our stack coverage call, which is bullet. He'll play more like a middle linebacker there. But if he doesn't hear any of these tags, he is basically in a cover one almost all the time. Like I said, Fred can play the monster. And even though Fred is in kind of a cover one, when we've got split receivers that split out, Fred now, the free safety, now plays the number 2 receiver, because our cornerbacks, Carl and Bob, have the number 1 receiver from the outside, and Fred will play number 2. If Rover does go back, like in the 5-2, and we've got Fred and a strong safety with the Rover there, Fred will always go to the wide side, or maybe there's a birdie, which is a good receiver that we want Fred on, and he'll make that switch there, and that's really pertaining to the scouting report. But those are some quick keys for Fred there. We basically want him playing center field for pass, 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 and saving long runs and touchdowns. Let's see here. So Fred, like I said, is the free safety, and you can see him down here. I call him Fred. He's our main pass defender. Looks like we're probably in a 6-2 wide here, because the linebackers are in B gaps. I don't have the fronts here. But you have the tackle here, the 2A gappers here. The cornerbacks, because they're in double tights, they're kind of in tight here. They can be a little bit wider if they want, but they need to help out with C. But Fred back here is basically playing cover one now, and he's playing center field. Because you've got this 2 receiver kind of weird set over here, even though the I is more of a run formation, I do like Fred to pick up and understand there's a number 2 receiver here, and he needs to kind of help out on this side. But of course, if one of these guys blocks, the corner has it, and then he needs to come back and really look what's going overall on the field. Like I said, also Fred has the motion back. So if this wing back goes in motion, Fred's coming over uh, on that. I think we've gone over most of the stuff that I've got down there in green, but basically Fred's the free safety. I play him at about 7 to 15 yards depending on the age group. So it's really up to you. If you're running, if the offense you're playing is a running team, you can kind of move him up tighter. If they definitely have pass, you can move him back. And it really depends on the speed of your Fred, what you guys are trying to do on defense. But that's basically the free safety there. This is Fred in a fight call, and these are some of the, like if you're going to run that hybrid defense, this is where Fred comes in, and I call it fight. Instead of him being back here, he's moved up to a middle linebacker position here. He's no longer got pass coverage, just the corners, and the corners have pass coverage. And this is a great defense, really, for younger ages where there's no passing threat. Your linebackers could kind of scoot out a little bit, and Fred's got the middle here. And that's really up to you. And, of course, if you want to use him like a monster, too, you can, Fred go to X, Fred go here, and you could do that, too. Fred in a cover 2. So this is a bullet formation right here. For us, you've got the two corners back here, and you could say they're in cloud because they're in cover 2 here. Fred is in this fight middle linebacker position because usually we're in a stack on this. And so right now, this is a cover 2. Cover 2, Fred basically has run responsibility and no pass responsibility when Fred is in a cover, when we're in a cover 2 and Fred has come up into a call like this. So anytime Fred has cover 2, Fred should be blitzing and doing something like that. And that's the reason we've got bullet right here. In the cover 3, this is more of like a prevent. We know it's a passing down. I also call this thunder for cover 3 here. Look, this each D-back has a third of the field. They're about 10 yards back. Or a little bit ahead of the first down marker, and they're playing zone coverage underneath. Whoever catches the ball, they go. But they've got, this guy's got this third, this guy's got this third, this guy's got this third, and they're watching the receivers underneath and the quarterback here. Cover 4 is just like that, except, they've got quarters. I also call this fog. They've got the quarters here. Fred will take the wide side. Rover will take the short side. And this is a prevent defense for us, or a zone coverage here for us, where we're trying to let the receivers catch underneath and we make the tackle. This is a call of fire. These are some calls kind of specific to Fred if you're wanting to play Fred more like a monster. Fire is going to send Fred into like a Fred Apache. So Fred comes up in this fire thing. Your regular fight, he's here, but fire, he's blitzing there. Frame X, I just passed that. Frame X is a call when I want Fred to help out. Let's say this guy's the birdie and the really good receiver. Carl's got him. He's the first receiver from the side. This tells Fred we're going to double cover whatever this player number is. And there it is right there. Feet is the same thing for a tight end. I called Y, so here's Fred on the Y here. He's definitely going to play tighter on this receiver. So let's say that's a birdie or that's a really good tight end and they're known to throw a lot of pop passes. I may want to move him up and have him play a little bit tighter coverage on that tight end there. Far out is when maybe we're having like a Raider blitz where everybody's going. And I want Fred to be at 15 to 20 yards to basically be the safety in case anything pops out of that all-out blitz. And you could put him in far out if you think it's a passing down too, and you could do that when the corners are up or anything like that. That's really just up to you as far as Fred there. So a few other of these blitz calls that's for Fred, especially when you're running this him as a hybrid or you want to blitz Fred a little bit more than normal. Another one of these calls is Fab, and there's a B there for Fab, Fred B, and he's going to blitz. You can see Fred's come up, he's going to blitz the B gap here, and that works out good. So I have these calls specifically for Fred when I'm running him as this monster kind of blitz guy on a run team. The next one here is face. So you got Fred, and then you got C for face. He's hitting the C gap right there. Or you could call Fred Cobra right, which is going to put Fred to the C gap or right. Or you could call him, what is this, 1, 3, 6. So you could say Fred, or actually 5, actually, and this is 7. You could say Fred go to 5 and blitz the hole. So there's face for Fred there. Fred Dog is a call I really love to use a lot, not only at lower levels, but age groups, but at higher levels. When I've got this this thing going on here, and I know it's a rundown, I like to send Fred on this Fred Dog, and my Fred knows he's going to go to the wide side where this wingback tight end is, or to the side where these guys are. So on here, there's not a wing over here, so here it is. He's going to split this up. It really puts a lot of pressure on these guys to let this guy come around and actually blitz. And it looks like I've got these linebackers messed up here. But you get the point what's going on there. So the outside DN would have contain. Fred's hitting the dog blitz there. The same thing with Fred Eagle. So he goes to the E gap out here, and he's blitzing from the outside. And then let's talk about when we have coverage and we go into a spread, or they've got multiple receivers going on out here. I like to move into the 5-2, and you can see I've got the head up guys here. Will and Sam are still got contained. I've moved the rover back into coverage. The gunners come up into this linebacker position here. Now Fred has the number 2 man on the wide side. For the purposes, this is wide and this is short. So you can see who's got the coverages here. And what I want them to do is that they need to look at real quick in case there's a little cross or whatever. The corner will have the outside guy. And then Fred or Rover is going to have the motion back that goes in motion. The corners are going to stick on their guys and they'll adjust to that. But Fred has the number 2 guy. If number 3 receiver, let's say this tailback came out here, I'd probably put Will here in Owl, and he'd play this underneath zone contained there, which puts him in a difficult position, but he should be able to do that. We've got really 2 good DNs, and your DNs need to be, especially at older age groups, need to be able to handle that. They're going to see that in junior high and high school. But Fred has the number 2 man anytime, but if they're in doubles like that, he definitely takes the wide side. Rover has got short. And they're manned up. I do have another defense where I can move Mike over here, and Fred would come back and play center field. But for these purposes right here, Fred is manned up in this 5-2 defense right there. So, yep. So remember, simplicity, Fred has the number 2 man. And if there's doubles on both sides, he's got the wide side. And that's really, kind of what Fred and free safety is to us. Just simplified, Fred is our number 1 pass defender. He has, unless he's in a blitz call, he's always playing pass. He's pretty much in cover one, although he needs to look at the second receiver and pay attention to what's going on with the second receiver there. And I should make a call if I see they've come out in doubles on both sides or trips or whatever. I'll make a call and move probably into the 5-2 and move the rover back to help with that. Very seldom will I sit and have Fred if it's like a spread offense trying to play center field by himself back there. So yeah. So Fred, simplified, is our cover one guy, especially at teams that aren't really passing that much. Corners are really helping a lot on the run support, and if there's a split, they're helping out on the pass. But and they're in man coverage. But Fred's pretty much playing zone in a 10-yard kind of thing back here, and he's playing center field. So that's really it about Fred. It's pretty simple, actually. He just shouldn't let the thing with Fred is nobody can get behind you. You really got to coach that up. I can't tell you how many times, if you get an over-assertive free safety, they want to come up on a run and then they toss that ball over his head. So he has to be smart enough, and you have to train it and go through practice on sweep option passes, which is a great play in youth football because everybody comes up on the passer sweeping and then it goes over their head. So make sure you're really working with your Fred on those type of plays there. Hey, if you like the video about Fred and free safety and how to play that, please give me a like below. If you didn't like it or you have some questions or just want to leave a comment, please do that in the comment section below. You can share the video with one of your coaches if you'd like. Please subscribe to the channel if you like all the videos I've been putting together. That really helps out. If you'd like to donate, there's a donate button up there. You can shop my store link below. I get a percentage of sales there. It really helps me out to bring more free content to the youth football coaching community. And I've got 2 books out right now that you can check out in the links below and over at coachparker.org. It's this companion book to my 6-2 multi-8 youth football defense video series. You can buy that book that has all these charts in there and pretty much a lot more detail on how the defense is run and how I use it. And I've got an offensive playbook out right now. It's in draft form, but it's about 150 pages. It goes over, it's called the Power Wing Beast Offense. It's got a lot of single wing beast in there, a lot of power double wing stuff. It's in draft form, but I've used it over the last 5 or 6 seasons to run offense, and it's got all the meat in there that you really need to look at. And if it doesn't, you can email me, and I'll answer those questions. And I'm starting to do companion videos for that playbook right now also. So hey, this is Coach Parker with coachparker.org. Thanks for coming by and watching the video. And remember to play for fun, and winning is funner. Hope to see you guys next time. Hope you're having a great day. Ciao.